In this video, we're going to discuss about the action script. First of all, you need to go to Window and select Scene and then create 4 inner scenes. And then you may want to rename them as Home, Animation 1, Animation 2, Animation. Okay, I placed 3 in a shot animation in Animation 1, Animation 2, Animation 3 in a scenes. Then go to Home Scene, create Animation 1 layer, Animation 2 layer, and then Animation 3 layers. You need to create 3 layers for 3 animations. This is Animation 1. And then what I like to do, I like to make 3 inner buttons, clickable inner buttons for those 3 animations. Okay, this will be the buttons for the Animation 1. And then I'm gonna copy, go back to Home Scene and click on the layer 2, Animation 2 layer, and then paste. This will be the inner button for the Animation 2 and so on. Copy and then select the Animation 3 layer, and this will be the button for Animation 3. So we have created 3 inner buttons. And then click and select the button 1 and modify convert to symbol. So we are activating that button. Don't forget to select the buttons. Okay. And then you should see the button that you just created in our library. Do the same thing for the rest of 2 buttons. And then button 3, modify, convert the symbol, and then the type must be button. Okay, now we have 3 buttons. Double click on button 1, and then you should see up, over, down hit in a timeline of this button. And then go to double click on button 2 from the layer and do the same thing for the rest of buttons. Okay, now we need to activate those 3 buttons that we already placed in our home in a scene. To do this, click and select the button 1 and then go to Window Actions and then click on Code Snippet, that tiny icon, and then you will see 2 folders, and then select the action script folder and expand the action script and then timeline navigation, then double click on stop at this frame. Then you should see in a tiny A in your timeline. That means that stop and action has been applied to the button. And then click select the button 1, go to action script, double click on click to go to scene and play. And if you see this sort of message, you can cancel and go to property and just to give any name for this button 1. I typed in Animation 1, Animation 2, or Animation 3 for the instance names. And then try again, click to go to scene and play. Okay, so you should see some action script here. So all you need to change is the name of scene. So you should replace the scene with the actual name of the animation. Alright, that should be Animation 2 instead of scene 2 or scene 3 and scene 4. This one too, double click on click to go to scene and play, and rename this one animation 3. We just typed in all the instance names instead of a scene 1, scene 2, scene 3. Okay, now I'm going to select the animation 1 and go to the very last frame and double click on stop at this frame so that it won't play repeatedly, so that it plays just once. Okay, I click the button 1 and it plays once, and then stop at the very last frame of that animation. And I'm gonna go to animation 2. Then this is the animation 2 in a scene. Also double click on that and stop at this frame at the end of that animation 2. Do the same thing for the animation in a 3. Alright, now I'm going to click button 1. We see animation 1 and then stops. So click on button 2 and then we watch animation 2 and then stop at the end. Same thing. Stop at the end. Okay, now I'm going to create another symbol called like resume. Okay, now we need to create another button for this resume. Okay, make a simple button, just a square, and go to timeline, add 4 keyframes for up or down hit. Don't forget that. And then go to animation 1, and we have actually 4 buttons right now: animation 1, 2, 3, and the resume buttons. And then I double click on animation 1 and then create a new layer, and that will be a new layer for the resume button. Okay, I placed it. Okay, and then go to the very last frame of the animation 2 and then place the resume button as well. Do the same thing for the animation 3. You need to make a new layer for this resume button. Then place the lower right corner. Okay, animation 1. Click and select the resume button and double click on click to go to scene and play, and you will see the same error message. Go to properties and then type a unique name for this resume button. Alright, go to animation 2 and animation 3. Do the same thing. Click and select the resume button and type something in instant name. Then double click on click to go to in a scene and play. And then to highlight the scene 3, you should replace that in a name with home, which means that once you click on that resume buttons, it will go back to the home in a scene, and home. Do the same thing for animation 3. Okay, replace the scene 3 with the home. Okay, I'm going to click button 1. At the end, you need to click resume button and click on button 2 for the animation 2 and animation 3. Okay, now we like to show the resume button at the very end of each animation, not throughout the animation. Okay, I'm gonna get rid of all frames except the very last one. Okay. Okay, now you won't see that resume button until that animation reaches the at the very end. So now. Okay, now what if you like to add some sort of visual interest to those buttons. You may consider adding some roll over effect on those buttons. So double click on that in button 1 and click and highlight the overstate among those up, over, down. Hit overstate, and I'm gonna rotate and move that button a little bit, and you will see this kind of rollover effect when people hover over their cursor. So, and then I'm gonna rotate the other side a little bit. All right. Button 2, okay, don't forget to select the overstate and move a little bit. Okay, looks like it jumps. Set. Button 3, overstate. Yep, just be creative with your button.